Hello, water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. This will be a general tarot reading for the water sign collective. Of course, anyone and everyone is welcome into the reading. I just ask you come in with an open heart, an open mind, a desire to learn something to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, please feel free to release them or to revisit them on another day. Sometimes tarot messages come through and they make more sense in the future. So again, highly advise you're open to that. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Other than that was a terrible shuffle. Other than that, let's do it. Let's get some positive, helpful messages for those water babies out there. Water signs. What can I share with the water signs this week? All right, the Queen of Needles, that is the Queen of Swords. So she's got an important message to relay. What is she moving forward? Or she's making an important judgment call on something. What's going on in the head here with the Queen of Swords? The Magician, she's got big news. She's manifesting something. She's moving forward with some sort of, I'm actually hearing spell, I think, because of the little witch, but it's like something that you've been wishing and dreaming. You're moving forward with it. You may actually be moving forward to sign a contract for a new job, or communicating that you feel that there's chemistry in some sort of relationship. Yeah, I mean, there's two people here, which is very unusual for the Magician. Some of you have pregnancy on the brain, or you might just be thinking about your child, right? Even if your child is 40 years old. Yeah, there's a lot of messages coming through. Give me a little bit more. Ooh, those are coming out together. Oh my gosh, so many cards. All right, so Knight of Wands, the King of Pentacles, okay, and then the Five of Swords. So here it feels like you're moving forward to relay an important message about passion, chemistry, fun, something that ignites your soul. It may be that you're interviewing with a boss. It could be an important conversation you're having with your husband, if you're, or your husband or your partner, I should say. Especially if there's some sort of fear regarding what to do with the child, or it could be with tuition, or some sort of important issue that's giving you a little bit of anxiety regarding the child. And possibly if it has to do with allocating resources to help a child, there could be some fear in that area. Others of you, you're wanting to relay your passion and fire to possibly an earth sign or a romantic suitor, but you seem to be very fearful to relay that message. And do keep in mind that the messages could go vice versa too. So it's possible that there's a King of Pentacles who has sort of this secret flame of desire, and it's like they're trying to will themselves to have the courage to move forward, but they actually seem terribly intimidated by you. For some of you, your child needs to ask to borrow money from you, and again, it's the same thing there. I don't know if they have a habit of doing that or they're just terribly nervous to ask. So there's a lot of scenarios there. You're right. I hope I didn't confuse any of you. Let's see what else is going on here. So for this scenario, which I just gave the water signs like 7 different scenarios, what does like the outcome look like? So hopefully that will kind of orient them into where to put their time and energy. Sleep on it. If you do have a big proposal or a big contract, a big interview, a big discussion, a big speech conversation, make sure you're getting plenty of rest and sort of approach it when you are in a peaceful state of mind, when you're feeling at ease, when you're not rushed or pressured or nervous. Sort of like get your ducks in a row, and that way you're coming into it with like the best defense, if that makes any sense. Like you're going into it with a clear state of mind. But what is the outcome, please? What can I tell the water signs? The Five of Swords. Ooh, so you have the Five of Swords twice. This is kind of a brutal Five of Swords. Hold on, I'm hanging there though. Water signs. Let's see. Okay, but yeah, the Four of Wands, I was going to say, like, I obviously read these intuitively. I'm the intuitive teacup, right? And so something about this, like, I feel like this Five of Swords is going to work out. It's just like that in-between of going to do something. So when I asked for the outcome and I got the Five of Swords again, in my head I'm thinking, ooh, that's not at all what I was feeling. But there we go, like, that's what I was feeling. So, interesting. This has a bit of a twist or a turn to it, but it does end well. Something or someone here does end up supporting you. There is like a peace offering, or if this is romantic, it ends with sort of a soulmate card or taking things to the next level, right? With wands, I always say, any four in tarot is a solid foundation. I always, relay it to the four corners of a house. Like, we're good, we have protection, we can survive. With Wands, though, it's one of my favorite fours because ultimately Wands say we can continue to grow. There's a lot of potential for more development here. So yeah, I like this a lot if it is a relationship, if it's a business connection. The whole scenario with the child, I'm not sure how that relays out. So if you do have a child who's borrowing money from you time and again and they're asking for more, I think you're going to say no. And if that's the case, you're not going to feel guilty about it. I hope that makes sense to some of you out there. Because there might be two offers coming at you. And again, put this in context if and where it fits. But these could potentially be two different people as well. So let's say this is you, though there might be three characters. You may get some offer that initially sort of lights your fire, but come to find out it's actually, I don't want to say a darker energy, but there's something, it may not be in your highest vibrational alignment. It might be sort of fleeting or quick, the Knight of Wands, right? So there's a lot of passion and enthusiasm, but it burns out rather quickly. Others of you with a little bit of patience, with a little bit of dedication, using a more responsible or dedicated approach. Anyway, King of Pentacles, right? Those are all kind of earthy energies. I'd much rather take a king over a knight if these are two offers. So whether it relates to you in terms of jobs, romantic partnerships, or even if it's just negotiations of a contract. Maybe there's a quick way to do it and you're like, oh, I have hesitations, but if we could adjust this or change this figure, you know what I mean? If you go back and kind of retool it or restructure it, I think you end up with something much better. And that's sort of what this says to me too. The first offer that comes along, if it is tied to the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Candles here, I don't know. The Five of Wands is sort of someone is acting out of their own best interest, and so they may actually disappoint you, or vice versa, if this is you. I don't... It is a Venus card, so this very likely does have to do with a relationship in your life. And, we think of Venus as this, light, fluffy, lovey-dovey planet, but we have to remember it is associated with Libra, who is the judge, the scales, right? The scales of truth and justice. So sometimes there can be, and even the element of money and resources is tied to Venus. So yeah, I don't know. There could be some shady stuff going on with a negotiation process in terms of money, or I'm hearing the word vanity. I don't know why. I think because the Queen of Swords is here as well. Yes, someone may be acting more selfish in a relationship or not putting all their cards on the table. So that way when they do come to light, you're like, wait a minute, this person had a lot more than they said they did. Or, I don't know, something about that. And what can I put after the Four of Wands? This is all over the place, you guys, which ordinarily it drives me nuts, but I know it's eclipse season, so like a lot of us out there are all going through like major shifts and changes, so I think that's why I'm getting such a very like broad umbrella of storylines. Like this could be a lot of different scenarios. What I would encourage you to focus on, if any of this makes sense, pieces and parts of it, there's, in terms of the outcome, there's something that is either humbling or disappointing, but it's a blessing in disguise because it aligns you to your true path, the Four of Wands. And then it's a new beginning and it's very exciting. There's something very liberating, very freeing, very playful, very silly, very enthusiastic about it. And it's stress-free. There's something about being tangled or tangled into a contract or tied to a contract. Sorry about that. Some sort of like negotiation process where it's like you're beating your head up against a wall trying to make it work. And I have to be honest, for most of you, you weren't meant to make it work. By either declining this or something ends that's out of your control. And I will say, you're going to know this is your story, if somebody in this storyline is acting in a more selfish way, or somebody is just not in it for the team, even if it's a one-on-one dynamic, right? Yeah, I mean, you can look at this card and see what I see, right? Like, this is not a fun negotiation. This isn't a pretty scenario. So if you're racking your brain trying to figure out a scenario and it's the same outcome over and over, you're meant to get to the Six of Swords, which is, the moving on card, the epiphany, it's Mercury, right? So Mercury is informing our thoughts, our mind, our intelligence. We've learned something from this, and now we have that aha moment of, oh, I can move on. I don't have to, sail through these rocky waters. There's smooth sailing ahead because I can see the light of day. Something that was hidden from me is clear now, and I can see like either I don't want it, or again, I'm going to do it in my own way or renegotiate or whatever. You're meant to get to the Six of Swords so to find some sort of mental clarity about something you've really been struggling with. that aligns you to like your soulmate, or you could even say your soul path. I will say you're not alone. You're not doing this alone by any means. This is not a time where my water signs are going to be isolated. You're going to have a network a network of people supporting you, a great support system. Maybe it's in the form of family or a best friend or a romantic partner, or maybe it's all those things, right? Because then you have the Fool, and then there's like a victory. There's like a triumph, you know? He's blowing his little trumpet here. It's like there's reason to celebrate for getting yourself out of this and moving in a better path. And for some of you, the irony here is that it's actually an easier path. It's like you may have been trying to make something more complicated, or again, whatever this is, it's like mental gymnastics that it just keeps not working out in your favor. Getting to here, it's almost like it's just by walking away. It's just saying, no, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do it. And then it's like, ba-ba-da-bum, like his trumpet. It's like the universe is congratulating you because you get it. There wasn't peace in this situation. So by walking away, it makes you stronger. And you don't need to shame yourself or judge yourself, right, for staying in this too long. It's like you had to go through it to learn the lessons. That's what swords are about. And that could be what this is too. You know, these are the first cards out. Maybe you're walking away from a trickster, from the illusion of what was supposed to be. But I would still say too, you're moving forward now with a new manifestation, or the starting of a new chapter, right? Emphasized even more by the Fool. There could be a false start here. To be honest, there could be this news or this arrival of starting this new thing, the Magician, right? But come to find out when you get yourself into the situation, you're like, wait a minute, what? This is not who I thought it was. And yeah, I don't love this energy. I don't typically mind the Knight of Wands. Actually, I rather like the Knight of Wands, but not so much in this deck. There's just something lurking that's kind of ominous, and it's not what you see is what you get. There's a lot of illusions. There's a lot of like, what you see is not what you get here. So I would say wait for the better offer. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh dear. I see 2 of Wands and 3 of Wands. Yeah. You're bound to move forward. You're destined to move forward. But wait for your ships to come in. Wait for the ship to come in that's not sinking in front of you, right? Because even that metaphor of the 6 of Swords, it's like the boat traveling across the ocean. I know you want to get the hell out of there. I know you want to move on. I know you want to go do the thing, but make sure you're using the right method of transportation, or the right reliable source to get you from point A to point B. Don't just jump because you're impatient. Again, you go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Really read the contract. Think about the consequences. That's very important with the Queen of Swords. And use your best judgment, right? So maybe it does come down to, yes, logic, but also trusting your gut and your passions. When the Knight of Wands shows up in a reading, it does kind of say, you're going to have to take a risk. There is a risk involved here. How much you invest in a person or a thing is entirely up to you. If you are going to take a risk, do you have a bank account that can support you in this endeavor, right? You know, mixing that King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands. So you have Earth here, you have you have Earth, you have air, and then you have fire here. I have one question for you guys. Do you know what I'm going to ask? Where's the water? This is a water sign reading, so why are we not utilizing your biggest strength, which is your feelings, your emotions, your intuitions, your creativity, your spirituality, your empathy? Where's the water, Spirit? What is this King of Pentacles offering? I actually really do like this. This is an opportunity you couldn't look away from. Like it's really pulling your eye. Let's see. Oh my God, I'm not even kidding. You guys have so many 5s. I actually thought it was the 5 of Swords, but it's not. The 2 of Cups. You do seem to be at odds in some sort of relationship. Or there's a relationship that may come back around that you once turned your back on, and it could be that this person is coming in with some sort of new, I'm actually hearing like a clean track record, like some new offer, and like I actually think this person is really determined to win your heart this time. Maybe this is someone who you had a little bit of 5 of Swords energy with. Maybe it was sort of a battle back and forth and it just didn't end. So I stick with what I said. By walking away and not allowing it to be sort of this mental, emotional, physical disturbance of your life, by moving on with sort of that clarity of, I don't need this, it's holding me back, it aligns you to the right person. And for some of you, it may actually, there may be an opportunity to rekindle something in the past where it was just sort of a difference of opinion. Or I definitely like 5 of Wands more than I like 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is people playing tricks and you know, mental games and acting really selfish. Five of Wands, it's just there can be competition for people's time and attention, but it's not necessarily out of vanity or, yeah, sometimes it's just like we're struggling because we're trying to make ends meet, or there's a lot that's requiring our physical energy, and so we can't allocate time into building a relationship or going after the dream job. It seems like there's people who need to make amends, and the reason I say that there's a chance here for reconciliation or a new offer to be made with someone from your past is because you guys aren't facing each other. It's like this is a very good resource or person or advocate in your life, but you either seem to have forgotten them or it's just been so long that you thought they had exited your life. I don't think that's true. With this King of Pentacles, I think this King of Pentacles is going to come through and offer help in some way, even if it's just emotional support or spiritual support. At least we got some cups out of this, and it's a great cups too, right? Two of Cups is oh gosh, I think it's Venus in Cancer. Yeah, it's Venus in Cancer. So there's love, there's relationship here. And ultimately, that's what the Queen of Swords needs, right? Even though it looks kind of restrictive and sort of cold, it's indicative of Libra energy, which is ruled by Venus, right? So she does have a heart. It's just not the first thing you get when you speak to this person. So, all right, let's get you a movie quote and we'll wrap it up. This was complicated, guys. I hope I did it justice. You let me know in the comments below if any of this makes sense. But yeah, it's eclipse season, so I would imagine most everyone out there watching is going through some at least some minor, personal struggle right now. But it's going to lead to epiphanies and clarity. Let's see. Seven of Cups. This is movie tarot, by the way. So this is, let's see. This is from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's supposed to say Doc Ock. It says Doc Oak, but tell me if I'm wrong. Every choice that we make could create countless other possibilities. I wish my camera did a better job focusing, but I hope you guys can see that. It's Doc Ock, right? Like octopus? Is that, or is there a Doc Oak that I'm not familiar with? Any comic lovers out there? All right. And then Ace of Swords. Great Scott. Back to the Future. Doc Brown. You got a lot of doctors coming through. I think that could be your King of Pentacles, the Earth energy being bodies. Yeah. I mean that in a good way too. Some of you may end up connecting with a doctor. You might be married to one. You may end up working for one. Yeah. All right. I'm going to leave you with that, water signs. Thanks for joining me today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.